Hello everyone, this is Father Ricardo Martin. I'm the pastor at Sacred Heart Parish. Last week, Father Steve, pastor of St. Joseph and St. John Nepomuk, offered the first video, the first reflection video for our program. And this is the second one. We are discussing discipleship, and we do it reading this gospel that we take from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 16, verses 21 to 26. It's a very interesting gospel, and maybe the part that we have more difficulty to understand is this tense dialogue between Jesus and Peter. Jesus tells to his disciples for the first time that he's going to suffer and go to the cross. And then Peter says, this is not going to happen. And Jesus says to him, Satan, get behind me. Quite a strong statement to direct to someone as important as we know as Peter was in the group of disciples. What's happening in this gospel? Well, we need to look at the paragraph, at the passage before the one we read. Jesus takes his disciples to a place called Caesarea Philippi, and there he is asking them, what do people say that I am? And then he tells them, and now tell me what you think about me, about Jesus. It's a gospel about identity, and this is what we are discussing today. Identity is very important. How many times we wonder ourselves, you are younger and maybe you are experiencing it right now, but we experience it at many times during our lives. Who are we? What's our identity? And today we are reflecting about this important identity in our own faith. We call ourselves disciples, and a disciple is someone who follows Jesus. A disciple of Jesus is someone who follows Jesus. That's the meaning of disciples, a follower. We try to imitate the way Jesus lived. What's the problem with Peter? Peter speaks on behalf of all the disciples, and he has problems understanding this idea that Jesus will have to suffer. They wanted to follow a powerful person, a strong person that is telling them that he's the Son of God. They also may want Jesus to be more of a political leader instead of the Son of God, and that he really was. Accepting the cross, accepting suffering as part of discipleship is what seems to be a little bit the problem. Then the gospel finishes with this part in which Jesus explains to his disciple, whoever wishes to come after me, so to be my disciple, must deny himself or herself and take up his cross. In order to follow, we have to pay a price. There is a price for discipleship. Like everything in life, you want to be a good football player or a good gymnastics person, or you want to learn something, there is a suffering associated with it. There is something that you have to do in order to become the person you want to become, in whatever aspect in life. With discipleship, the same thing happens. Take up the cross. What's there in our lives that keep us from this radical call of Jesus? Radical means this total call of Jesus to become his disciples. I look at my life, and some things are sins, are attitudes, behaviors, tendencies. There are all kinds of things that can become an obstacle to my wanting to be a disciple of Jesus. So in many different ways you can ask the same question. Who are you? Do you consider yourself a disciple of Jesus? And what are obstacles in our lives that keep us from following Jesus the way he would like us to follow? Those are very interesting questions that have been prepared for you so that you can have a fruitful discussion today. Again, our identity is that of disciples of Jesus, people who say that we want to follow Jesus, but then what are these things in our lives that keep us from becoming such, or better disciples at least. I hope you enjoyed the discussion and you become a little better human beings, a little better disciples of Jesus just through this discussion today. Take care. Bye.